Hello YouTube, back once again with my Last on Earth reviews, and here we are reviewing the entirety of Season 1 as a whole. And sorry this is pretty late, it's been like 4 weeks since the finale. Sorry, I've just been really busy just finishing out things up with high school, and there's that, and then all the pollen came out once I just was super ill for like a month. So, but I'm better now. So anyway, let's review the first season of Last Man on Earth. Now, this show, first let's go start with the good of this season. First, the concept. The fact, this is so ambitious, the fact that they try to take something as serious as the aftermath of the apocalypse, when to our knowledge, like, there are just so few people, there's barely anyone left, there's barely anyone left on Earth. Just, they turn that into a comedy is just so ambitious, and the fact that it was actually funny. This show had so many great lines and so many funny moments, and the fact that this was a show about the apocalypse, the aftermath of the apocalypse, and it just could be that funny is just amazing. That, and because of this, just the concept allowed for such creative, such bizarre humor you would not get on other shows, and that's why a lot of it was so funny. Which is about, you just didn't see this comedy because it was comedy about the end of the world. So that was great. The fact it never got too serious. The show never got too serious. There was never an issue like they were running out of food, or there was never there was dead bodies littering. I know some people complain about that. I just gave it a pass. Just the fact that it was never how there was just dead bodies lying everywhere. No, this was always funny and really good from beginning to end. So that was great. Concept, comedy, all great this season. That Will Forte as the lead Phil. Will Forte, he did a really great job. I love Will Forte. I always think he's really good. He was a really good lead in this. Did a really good acting job in every episode, since basically every episode revolved around him. And his physicality was always great. He had to do a lot of physical fits this season, just him breaking stuff and him smashing stuff. That was always really funny. Sorry, I have a thing of notes written down here. And he was always good at delivering his jokes. You never felt he was awkwardly delivering the lines. He always delivered them with such great confidence. He was always great. And next, let's talk about the other main lead of this show, Kristen Schaal. Kristen Schaal stole this season. She was so amazing for being 10. If you love anything Kristen Schaal has ever done, Daily Show, Mabel from Gravity Falls, Mel from Flight of the Conchords. If you liked her in anything, she is just hilarious in this show. She just steals just scene after scene, just nailing joke after joke. She was just such an insane character. She was essentially just adult Mabel from Gravity Falls, just being this super upbeat person, even in the at the end of days. And not just she, like I said, she was just freaking hilarious. That and I always just loved her. I love the fact that she never ever really fully grasped the concept the world had ended. Just how I kept the jokes, some of the jokes never got old. The jokes she would always complain about Phil's driving, where we would run through stop signs and not parking spots or parked in handicap spots, was always so hilarious. Always cracked me up. Kristen Schaal just nailed it this season. Definitely the comedic highlight of this season. Just funny moment after funny moment. The other two leads I want to talk about, January Jones. I know a lot of people hate January Jones and think she's a terrible actress because of Mad Men. Let's make something clear about Mad Men. She is not bad on Mad Men. She is a good actress and she is good on Mad Men. The thing is, her character is the worst character on Mad Men. That's where people, I think, get confused. They aren't able to make the difference, tell the difference between someone who's acting horribly and you don't like her, or just a character who's just a horrible human being and that's why you just don't like her. She is good at acting, and her character is just probably the most unlikable one on Mad Men. And she was actually I was surprised she was actually I didn't know how she would handle a comedy. She was actually very likable this season. She's probably the most straight character this season, probably the most straight person out of anyone. Definitely the least weird or quirky out of any of them. And she did good and pretty likable. Was never annoying. Never brought down the comedy. She herself had a few good lines. My personal favorite being when just Phil wants to when she's talking about what's it called? Oh God, I forget. Wow, I hate myself for not. The Shawshank Redemption with Phil when Phil wants to start quoting and she's like, yeah, sure. I thought she was really funny during during that, and then finally, for the last thing I want to talk about, Mel Rodriguez as Todd. He was just very likable from beginning to end in this season. Just was just a very likable, had a few good lines, just always had a very nice presence, and just a nice. It was just fun just to see this guy. He was always just had such very likable character. That I also have to say, this show has some really great heart. Like I said, it was never overly serious, but there was actually a lot of really good heartfelt scenes this season. Like even kind of dark scenes. Like some of the highlights, I love the scenes when it was just the third episode, and Kristen Shaw was pissed off at Will Forte for completely not getting the rings for their wedding, and then Will Forte, even though Kristen Shaw's been annoying him this entire episode, he just sits with her down and just says look, I'm much happier having you here than no one. There was the unbelievably beautifully wonderfully shot moment when Phil gets busted with hiding when it turns out he's been hiding another gang of people from the main group of people, and they just abandon him in the middle of the desert, and you just see Will Forte just walking through the desert by himself. That was a beautifully shot moment. So like I said, really great heart, and just there were just a lot of points when Phil was just admitting his insecurities and just be because this more than because it's not this is not a sitcom about a group of friends. This is about people who are just kind of essentially just stuck with each other because there's just no one left on Earth for them to be with. So that was a really clever thing. Another great thing, I always love Phil's house. I always love all the stuff he has. I love the margarita pool. I always thought that was funny. All this stuff he brought back, the fact he has a T-Rex head on his dining room table. All the famous artwork they just completely screw with. Just how they start messing with Picasso's and things like that. Just so hilarious. And Van Gogh's. That was always cracked me up just how they would keep messing with famous art. That always thought was hilarious. The ball friends Phil has as Bard, always great sources of comedy, always made me laugh. Just those random ball friends he would talk to. I love the fact that the ball friends one of my favorite things about this season, I think I forgot to mention this, Kristen Shaw. I love the fact that she was essentially the hero of this season when she just goes to Phil and just says look, Phil, let's go find someplace new for us. I love the fact when you just saw the two of them drive off in the sunset, you just saw that she brought all his ball friends. That definitely made me laugh. And finally, the finale. It was a really good finale. Like I said, I love the fact that they made Shaw the hero, Kristen Shaw the hero, because she essentially was this season. And just the twist at the end, that you learned that Phil's brother is alive in space. That was a great one. Definitely keeping me excited for season 2. So all that was great. Let's talk about the issues this season had. One, the biggest one, Will Forte was too damn unlikable this season during that middle stretch when Todd showed up to essentially the finale. He was just too unlikable. You're just he just says too many dick things and is too much of a bastard to everyone, and you're just kind of I don't want to watch this guy. And for the fact he's the lead, that's an issue if you don't want to watch the lead. Then because I said, basically every episode revolved around him. It gets hard to watch sometimes. I heard someone say, a lot of people suggest this, the show may have actually worked better as a Netflix show if you could just basically just binge watch it and just see his quick arc. But as the fact you had to go this episode by episode, week by week, it did make it feel like it was dragging a bit. So that was an issue. And I was gonna say, like I said, Phil was pretty good with Scotch. Well, the rest of the people with him, they also got really way too mean with him. They started treating him terribly. I'm look, Phil's not the nicest guy, but he did he did bring you guys together, and you have this community now because of him, and just the fact they were just always the worst. I'm well, you guys also kind of suck. You're all kind of just terrible people to a certain degree. Sorry, just have some notes written down here. I didn't want to forget. That another huge problem was the comedy. It got too sitcom-y during the middle. During that middle stretch, there was a stretch in the show when the jokes just felt like typical sitcom situations. I was just like, oh, whatever, haha. Like, it wasn't unfunny. It would just it did have me bursting out laughing, like some of the weird humor they did with this premise did. Now, like when they were just saying, I was like, haha, I get it. So that, like, the main issue, like, was that, and like the main like dragon comedy was just the very long, overlong plot of just like Will Forte trying to go Jerry Jones. That just went on too long. That needs to be cut. So that was annoying. That and the rest of the cast besides Will Forte, Kristen Schaal, Jerry Jones, and Mel Rodriguez, they felt pretty just tacked on. I was almost so sorry, like, why are you even in this? Why are one of you, like Cleopatra, I can't remember what the actress's last name is, I was like, why are you even credited as a main cast member? Like, because like they show up at the end, they don't really do much, they just kind of just get there and leave, and that's it. I'm just like, why? Why the show got a bit too formulaic with just like how it would just be like how like someone would show up, Phil would piss them off, they would like make up, then another person would show up, and like the old cycle to repeat again. It got too annoying after a while. I'm just like, you didn't need this show. You really just need to keep it these 4 characters, and that's another one of that. Like, because like, let me tell you, if at the end of this season, if Will Forte, Kristen Schaal also had Jerry Jones and Mel Rodriguez leaving with them to drive off the sunset, I would have been so content with just abandoning those characters at the rest of the gay characters at Tucson, but no. Mel Rodriguez and Jerry Jones are still with the rest of the gang, and I'm just like, oh god. So that was an issue. That and my other main issue for a show called Last Man on Earth, I think they really just pulled the they brought in too many characters too fast for this show. I understand it would have been difficult to have just it be Will Forte doing a one-man show, but like more than one episode. Like if like the 1 hour season premiere that was just the first 2 episodes back to back, if the second episode ended with him meeting Kristen Schaal, I've been like, okay, that's a good time to add another person. The fact it was just the first episode and he meets Kristen Schaal at the end of it, I'm just like, okay, this was a bit too fast. And the fact it was on like the fourth or fifth. I think it was the 5th. Yes, it was. It has to be the 5th episode. Just how another man showed up. Mel Rodriguez showed up. And they're like, wow, only 5 episodes in, and we're already blowing the title of the show. I'm just like that they needed to slow it down. When it came to throwing in characters, and that's my last big complaint. But on a side note, let me just say this was my favorite new comedy of 2014-2015, that fall lineup season. Definitely I thought the best new one to come out of it. So, for Last Man on Earth Season 1, I will give a final rating of 4 out of 5. It was a really good first season. It was a great first season. I loved it. If they just fixed the issues, like if the Phil was less unlikable and like they didn't throw in too many new characters, they took advantage more of the bizarre concept more, I would have said this was a unbelievably good first season. But as it stands, I loved it. It was a great first season. It had its issues, but like I said, for a concept as insane as this to work, that is an accomplishment all its own. That and the main cast, Schaal, Forte, Jones, Rodriguez, and especially Schaal were so wonderful and just great first season. So, YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.